Welcome back to Periscope for Entrepreneurs. And in this video, we're going to be talking about tips for the actual broadcast. Now, Periscope is an engagement application. The benefit of having a live stream, the benefit of having people that are going to be present who can comment to you and giving you the ability to easily comment back is to be able to engage them. So when people come to your broadcast, make sure to acknowledge them by name. Make sure to acknowledge that they are present, that if you know them from the past, that you somehow indicate that you somehow indicate some familiarity or indeed some level of intimacy. Now, don't be too busy delivering your content in order to answer an important question. Now, there is always a balance to this, but again, the key to Periscope and the thing that separates it and other live streaming technologies from being able to do a video, even sometimes a webinar, is being able to be right there present with the individuals and to be able to almost have a dialogue and a conversation. So you want to treat your Periscope broadcast as a conversation. Now, there's a phrase that some professional speakers use that's called visiting. And that means that you're basically engaging with your audience and making small talk and getting to know your guests and really talking about things that are part of everyday life. Now, this should probably not be a part of your broadcast unless you come on your cast early to do this, but don't use your live broadcast in order to do a lot of visiting. Again, remember that you're probably going to be going back. You're probably going to be making a recording out of it. So again, you don't want to waste people's time. You want to make sure that if you're going to be on, that when people come to the broadcast, if you've scheduled it for 5 o'clock, that when people come, that they're going to get what they have come for. Attention spans are very transitory, and so you want to make sure that you're giving people what you promised them. Now, this is very important. Periscope does have the capacity for people to be able to show their appreciation for the content you're delivering, and they can do that by giving you hearts. Now, there are some who say that it's in bad taste to ask for them. And as well as for people to be able to share your broadcast. Now, again, just as you would in Facebook, just as you would in creating videos, you're going to have to make a judgment call based on your niche, based on your audience. So in some cases, you may not get people to share your broadcast unless you ask them. In other cases, if your audience is a little more sensitive to that, you're going to need to be aware of that. And you don't want to follow a traditional convention just because everyone else is doing it. This is something that really has to do with you knowing your audience when you're actually broadcasting. Not possible again. Try to work from an outline, but try not to use notes. This engagement technology is about being live. It's about being present. It's about demonstrating your expertise. It's about being the go-to person. You can do that very easily if it doesn't look like, again, this is something that you're staging. Right now, there's a social media expert. Her name is Sandra Troff. She suggests that throughout the broadcast, because of the fact that on Periscope you're going to have people who stumble on your broadcast, that you take time to reintroduce yourself throughout the broadcast, saying things like, "This is Thomas Duncan, and I'm with Internet Marketers Alliance." Doing that throughout the broadcast and saying that, really giving people the opportunity, again, to connect with you. If they want to go check you out on the web, all of those things are very important, again, to have people connect with what you're doing and to come back to your future broadcasts. Now, Ms. Troff also suggests that you avoid long periods of dead air. So don't leave long periods of silence. Again, attention spans are very delicate. You don't want to leave that to chance, and so it's almost better to have a shorter broadcast where you're kind of keeping things moving rather than to stretch it out and have long periods of dead air. So really, make sure your content's kind of ready to go. Make sure you know it well. Go ahead and deliver it. But again, try to avoid those long, awkward silences through your broadcast. And throughout your broadcast, this would be the case if you were doing a webinar or any kind of speaking. Ask for feedback. Constantly ask your audience questions. Give them the opportunity to answer. Give them the opportunity to engage with you. Get them talking. The more that they are a part of an experience, the more that they'll remember what it is that you're doing, and the more that they will decide to make a decision to come back to what it is that you're doing. Now, if you really want engagement, right, and you sort of know the people that are going to be there, don't be afraid to ask specific questions of individuals if you know them well and you know they're present. So if you need to ask someone and you'd say, Thomas, what do you think about this? Or Jane, what do you think about this particular marketing strategy? You can say those things when you know the individuals that are going to be there. Now, again, you don't want to do this with people that you don't know and people who would not appreciate it and people who would find it distasteful. But when you have people that you can engage with, that you can call them by name, what this does is this really almost encourages people to want their names to be called. And they will stay on the broadcast and they will engage with you so that, again, you will engage with them. People are really looking for connection, and that's what really Periscope does provide to people. And treat your broadcast as something that visitors will need to come back to. So don't use it as a one-time event like a webinar. Again, this is almost like a serial, something that people have got to come back to in order to get the whole story. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't deliver all your content. You do want to deliver all your content, but at the same time, though, engage with people as if this is going to be regular. I'm going to want you to come back, or the next time we do this, or next week when we get together, or next month in our broadcast. Here's what we're going to talk about. Give people seeds to know that they're going to be able to come back and get more of what it is that you have to offer. Again, this is a branding opportunity. It's a chance for you to almost leave a cliffhanger in the minds of the people who are coming to your broadcast. Lastly, one of the things that you are going to want to do is to decide whether or not you want someone to know your location, and make sure it's only enabled if it benefits your business. If it doesn't benefit your business, then it can be a needless distraction. And it may or may not lend itself to people engaging with you more. And sometimes people will focus on the wrong thing if you have a location there, and what it does is it kind of takes people down the wrong path, not towards buying and not towards thinking about your product and not toward thinking about your expertise, but thinking about where they're from and how they're connected to you. So again, if it benefits your broadcast, if it benefits your business, broadcast it. If it doesn't, don't feel as if you can't not allow people to know where you're broadcasting from. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.